Close your eyes and listen as we journey back through centuries to a simpler, quieter time. You are back in time, safe and comfortable, merely an observer of a world long past. Welcome back, weary traveler, to the realm of sleep. The day's journey is done. The sun has dipped below the battlements, and a gentle hush falls over the land. Settle yourself now, deep into your straw-filled mattress. Feel the familiar softness yielding beneath you, a welcome embrace after a long day. Find that perfect position, the one that whispers of ease and surrender. Now, let us draw in the breath of slumber. Breathe in deeply, filling your lungs with the cool, still air of night. Hold it for a moment, a silent pause, and then exhale slowly, letting go of every worry, every ache. Again, a deep, slow inhale. Hold. And a long, soft exhale, releasing the tension from your shoulders, your jaw, your weary limbs. Feel the profound heaviness of your body sinking into the mattress, each muscle loosening, surrendering to rest. Listen. Hear the gentle whisper of the wind rustling through the castle courtyard. Perhaps the distant hoot of an owl, a sentinel of the night. Let these sounds wash over you, a lullaby woven from the quiet magic of this age. They are the guardians of your peace, the guardians of your dreams. Allow them to carry you, deeper and deeper, into the velvet embrace of sleep. You wake to frost on cartwheels and the cold breath of morning. The chill is a physical thing, a presence in the room that settles on your cheeks and nose, the only parts of you outside the heavy fortress of blankets. Your breath makes a small, steady cloud in the gray light. You are Thomas. You are in your bed, in the loft of your timber-framed house in Stonecliff. And for these long, slow moments, there is nothing to do but feel. The weight of the wool is immense. It is a gravity all its own, pressing you down into the feather-stuffed mattress, a pleasant anchor. The wool is rough against your chin, a familiar scratch that speaks of sheep and lanolin, and the deep, simple warmth of the herd. Your fingers, curled under the covers, feel the texture of the coarse linen sheet beneath you, the smooth, worn wood of the bed frame beside you. A smell finds you. It is the ghost of last night's fire, a scent of wood smoke that has cooled and settled into the very fabric of the house. It smells of pine sap and the slow, patient burn of oak. Underneath it, a subtler smell. The damp earth of the walls, the sweet, dry scent of the thatch above you, the lingering perfume of the rosemary Sophie strew on the floor yesterday. You hear the rain. It is a soft, constant sound on the thatched roof. Not a storm, but a drizzle. A steady, whispering shush that fills the entire world. Pit-pat. Pit-pat. Drip, drip, drip from the eaves, outside the shuttered window. The sound is a blanket of its own, smothering all sharpness, rounding every edge of the morning. Beneath the rain, there is the house. It creaks, a soft, wooden sigh as the timbers contract in the cold. A faint, rhythmic scratch, scratch, scratch comes from the wall near the hearth, a mouse in the wattle, going about its tiny, urgent business. Down below, you hear a deep, even breath. Then a shift, a rustle of straw from the pallet where Piers sleeps. A sigh from Eva's corner. The house breathes with you. You do not move. You let the cold air paint your face. You let the weight of the blankets hold you. Your eyes are open, tracing the dark lines of the roof beams overhead. They are solid. They have held for your father, and his father before him. They are oak, and they will hold for you. Slowly as the light seeping through the shutters, feeling returns to your limbs. You feel the dull, good ache in your shoulders from yesterday's work, the heft of the adze, the pull of the saw. It is not a pain, but a memory etched into the muscle. You flex one foot, feeling the cool air rush over your toes before tucking it back into the warm cave you've made. A new smell drifts up, faint but unmistakable. It is the smell of roasted grain, of bread beginning to warm on the hearthstone downstairs. Sophie is awake. The smell is deep and golden, a promise of the coming day. It mixes with the wood smoke and becomes something else. The smell of home, of safety, of a hearth that is never cold. You hear the soft, shuffling steps below, the clink of a pottery cup, the gentle thump of a kneading bowl being set on the table. No words are spoken yet. The morning is too fragile for words. It is a time of quiet rituals, of sensations. With a breath that feels like the first one, you finally move. The wool protests, dragging across your rough tunic as you sit up. The cold air immediately wraps around your neck and chest, a sharp, bracing contrast to the nest you've left. Your feet find the worn smooth planks of the floor. The wood is like ice. The grain of it presses into your soul, a detailed map of cold. You stand. Your knees give a single, small pop. You walk the 3 steps to the shutter, your footsteps echoing dully in the quiet loft. Your fingers, stiff with sleep, fumble with the wooden latch. It lifts with a solid clunk. You open the shutter. The world is gray and silver and white. Frost paints every surface in a crystalline fur. It feathers the wooden cartwheel, leaning against the shed. It glazes the thatch of the widow Hale's cottage across the lane. It silvers the cobblestones of the yard, turning the puddles into milky, shattered glass. The air that washes over you is clean and knife-edged, smelling of wet stone and sleeping earth and the distant, cold tang of the river. You see your breath pour out, a steady stream. You watch it vanish into the larger grayness. From a dozen other houses, thin plumes of smoke begin to rise, straight up in the windless dawn. They are the village's own breath, slow and steady. Downstairs, the fire crackles to new life. You hear Sophie feeding it, the gentle crumble of dry bark, the hiss as a sap pocket catches. The sound is a tiny, cheerful rebellion against the vast, damp quiet of the morning. It is a sound that says here, we are here, and we are warm. You close the shutter, leaving the white world outside. The room is darker now, and the bed behind you is a rumpled island of lost warmth. You pull your heavy work tunic over your head. The linen is cold at first, then gradually takes on the heat of your skin. You tie the simple cord at your waist. You descend the ladder, your hands knowing each rung. The air grows warmer with each step down. The smell of bread grows stronger, now joined by the scent of the new fire, a sharper, brighter smoke. You step onto the packed earth floor of the main room. The hearth is a universe of orange and black. Embers glow like dragon's eyes. A small flame licks at a fresh piece of birch, its bark curling like parchment. The heat reaches out and touches your shins, a palpable force, a welcome wall against the chill at your back. You do not speak. Sophie, her back to you as she tends the loaf, does not turn. She nods, a slight movement of her kerchiefed head. You nod back, though she cannot see it. You move to the bucket, dip the copper ladle, and drink. The water is so cold, it makes your teeth ache. It tastes of the well, of deep stone and stillness. You sit on the stool by the hearth, your hands outstretched to the flames. The heat is almost painful on your skin, a delicious, searing contrast. You watch the flames dance. You listen to the rain, now a gentle backdrop to the fire's crackle, and the soft tear of bread as Sophie breaks the fast. The frost is outside. The cartwheel wears its icy lace. The morning breathes its cold breath. But here, by this fire, you feel the wool of your tunic grow warm. You smell the bread. You hear the rain. You are here. You are safe. The day can begin slowly, when it is ready. You wake up to the steady, soft patter of rain on the thatched roof above. The sound is like a gentle drumbeat, a lullaby that seeps into your consciousness, grounding you in the present. You are Thomas Miller, the carpenter of Stonecliff, and this is your home. You feel the weight of the heavy wool blanket on your body, its scratchiness a familiar comfort. The cold stone floor beneath your feet is a shock, but you relish the sensation. the stark contrast to the warmth of your bed. You pull on your tunic, the fabric rough against your skin, and you feel the cold morning air seep through the thin material. As you walk down the creaking wooden stairs, you smell the faint scent of wood smoke lingering in the air from last night's fire. The hearth is cold now, but the embers still glow faintly, a promise of warmth to come. You feel the smooth, worn wood of the table as you run your hand along its surface, the grain familiar under your touch. Outside, the world is a symphony of sensory delights. The cobbled streets are slick with rain, the wet stones cool and smooth under your bare feet. You listen to the distant hooves of horses clopping along the road, the sound muffled by the rain. The air is filled with the scent of damp earth and pine sap, the fresh, clean aroma of a world washed clean by the rain. You walk to the bakery, the rhythmic sound of your footsteps echoing in the quiet morning. The scent of roasted bread wafts through the air, a comforting aroma that makes your mouth water. You feel the warmth of the bakery as you enter, the heat from the ovens enveloping you like a warm embrace. Sophie, your wife, is already at work, her hands deftly shaping dough into loaves. You watch her for a moment, the familiar rhythm of her movements a comfort. You feel the soft, pliable dough under your fingers as you help her, the scent of yeast and flour filling the air. The rhythmic sound of the rain continues, a steady beat that lulls you into a state of calm. You feel the warmth of the bakery, the softness of the dough, the smoothness of the stones under your feet. You listen to the crackling of the fire, the distant sound of the village waking up. You finish your work at the bakery, the scent of freshly baked bread clinging to your clothes. You walk back to your house, the rhythmic sound of your footsteps echoing in the quiet morning. You feel the cold stone of your house as you enter, the warmth of the hearth welcoming you back. You sit by the fire, the warmth seeping into your bones. You feel the smooth wood of your chair, the softness of the cushion under you. You listen to the crackling of the logs, the distant sound of the rain. You feel the weight of the day settling on your shoulders, but you push it away. For now, you are content to sit by the fire, to listen to the rain, to feel the warmth of your home. You are safe, you are warm, and you are at peace. The rain falls, steady and slow, falling and falling. You listen to its rhythm, the gentle drumbeat that lulls you into a state of calm. The world outside is cold and wet, but you are safe inside, warm and content. You feel the softness of the cushion under you, the warmth of the fire on your skin. You listen to the crackling of the logs, the distant sound of the rain. You are Thomas Miller, the carpenter of Stonecliff. This is your home, your sanctuary. You are safe, you are warm, and you are at peace. The rain falls, steady and slow, falling and falling. You listen to its rhythm, the gentle drumbeat that lulls you into a state of calm. You are at home, you are safe, and you are at peace. You push open the tavern door. The wood is warm against your palm, a comforting, lived-in heat that seeps into your skin. A tendril of smoke, thick and fragrant with burning oak, curls out to greet you, wrapping around your face like a familiar cloak. You step inside. The air inside the tavern is a rich tapestry of smells. Wood smoke, yes, but layered with the deeper, earthy scent of damp wool, the sharp tang of ale spilled on sawdust, and a faint, underlying sweetness that might be stale bread or perhaps something richer, like roasted meat from a forgotten meal. It's a comforting, enclosed scent, a world away from the damp chill of the Stonecliff evening. You feel the rough-hewn planks of the floor beneath your worn boots. They're uneven, worn smooth by countless footsteps, and you can feel the slight give and creak with each step you take. The tavern is dimly lit, the light from the hearth casting dancing shadows that play across the low, beamed ceiling. The fire crackles merrily, a steady, hypnotic rhythm that soothes your mind. Each pop and hiss is a tiny percussion, a lullaby of warmth. Your eyes adjust to the gloom. You see the rough, sturdy tables, scarred with the marks of tankards and knives. The benches are solid, unadorned, designed for function rather than comfort, but you know from experience that they hold a certain solidity, a grounded presence. You run a hand along the edge of a nearby table. The wood is cool now, the warmth of the fire not quite reaching this far, but you can still feel the faint grain, the subtle imperfections that speak of honest craftsmanship. The sound of the rain outside is a constant, gentle drumming on the thatched roof. It's a soft, insistent patter, a natural white noise that muffles the world beyond these walls. You can almost feel the coolness of the rain on your skin, a stark contrast to the enveloping warmth of the tavern. It's a sound that promises rest, a sound that encourages stillness. You move further into the room, your gaze sweeping over the few patrons scattered at the tables. They are hushed, their voices low murmurs that barely disturb the quiet hum of the fire. A man nurses his ale, his face obscured by the shadow of his hood. A woman sits alone, her hands clasped loosely in her lap, her gaze fixed on the dancing flames. There is no boisterous laughter, no raucous singing, only the quiet companionship of shared space. You find an empty spot by the hearth, the heat radiating outwards, chasing away any lingering chill from your journey. You settle onto a bench, the wood cool at first, then slowly warming as your body heat transfers. You can feel the rough texture of your woolen tunic against your skin, a familiar, comforting scratchiness. It's a good wool, sturdy and warm, made to withstand the elements. The firelight flickers across your face, warming your cheeks. You close your eyes for a moment, letting the sensations wash over you. The scent of smoke, the sound of rain, the feel of the warm wood beneath you. It's a simple, profound peace. You open your eyes again and watch the embers glow. They pulse with a soft internal light, like tiny, captured stars. The heat from the hearth is a tangible presence, a gentle pressure that presses against your front, a comforting embrace. You can feel the individual logs shift and settle, sending up new sparks that briefly ignite in the air before fading. The air is thick with the scent of the burning wood, a clean, sharp aroma that fills your lungs. It's a smell that speaks of home, of hearth and hearthside stories. You can almost taste the smoke, a faint, pleasant bitterness on your tongue. You notice the worn leather of the tankard on the table beside you, dark and softened with age. You don't reach for it, content just to observe, to absorb the atmosphere. The quiet is a welcome balm. The rain continues its steady rhythm, a lullaby for the village of Stonecliff. It falls and falls, a gentle, unending descent. You feel the solid weight of the bench beneath you, a grounding sensation. The rough texture of the wood is a constant reminder of the tangible world, of the solid foundations of this place. The shadows lengthen and deepen, softening the edges of the room, making it feel even more intimate, more enclosed. You can hear the faint hiss of beer being poured from a barrel behind the counter, a soft, liquid sound that adds another layer to the tavern's symphony. The innkeeper, a burly man with a flour-dusted apron, moves with a quiet efficiency, his movements economical and practiced. You focus on the warmth of the fire. It's a deep, penetrating warmth that seems to seep into your very bones. You can feel the heat on your hands, on your face, on your exposed skin. It's a primal comfort, a reminder of the essential needs of life. The rain continues its gentle drumming. Falling, falling, falling. Each drop a tiny whisper against the thatch. The sound is hypnotic, drawing you deeper into a state of calm. You let your shoulders relax, letting go of any tension you might have been holding. You are here, in this warm, smoky haven. The world outside can wait. For now, there is only the fire, the rain, and the quiet hum of the tavern. You feel the rough wool of your tunic, the solid wood beneath you, the comforting heat on your skin. It is a moment of pure, unadulterated peace. The embers glow, a steady, reassuring pulse in the dim light. The rain falls, a soft, insistent rhythm. You breathe in the smoky air, a scent that settles deep within you, a memory of warmth and safety. You push open the heavy oak door of the grinning hound, and the world outside, all damp twilight and chill, falls away. The first thing that happens is not a sight, but a breath. You inhale, and the air is thick, a warm, living blanket that wraps itself around your face. It is yeasty and smoky all at once, the soft, sweet perfume of fresh-baked bread woven through the deeper, older scent of 100,000 burnt logs from the hearth. The door thuds shut behind you, sealing you in. The cold that had settled into the wool of your cloak, into the joints of your fingers after a day of planing oak, begins to loosen its grip. You stand just inside, letting the transition happen. The rain outside is a distant, steady shushing now, a far-off rhythm against the thatch, replaced by the immediate, gentle crackle of the fire to your left. You feel the rough, wet hem of your cloak brush against your leggings as you move further in. Your work boots, crusted with the clay of the high street, scuff softly on the stone-flagged floor, worn smooth in the center by generations of feet. You shrug the heavy, damp wool from your shoulders. The weight leaves you, a burden lifted, and the warmer, still air of the tavern touches the sweat-damp tunic beneath. It is a cool touch at first, then a neutral one, as your body begins to equalize with the room. You make your way to your usual spot, a small trestled table in the crook of the wall, near enough to the hearth to feel its glow but not its scorch. The bench is solid, unyielding oak. You feel it accept your weight as you sit, a familiar firmness. You place your hands, palms down, on the table's surface. The wood is smooth, but not polished. Your fingertips trace the minute grooves and valleys of its long use, the sticky patina of old ale and wax. From here, the sensory world expands. The smoke from the hearth is not sharp, but soft, a blue-gray haze that hangs in the rafters and carries the scent of applewood, a faint, fruity undertone beneath the earthier peat. It touches the back of your throat, a gentle, familiar prickle. And then's the bread. The sweetness is not like honey. It is a grain sweetness, a wholesome, rounded smell that seems to come from the very walls. It is the smell of Sophie's hands, of her morning labor. It mixes with the smell of the mutton stew simmering in the iron pot over the fire, the smell of onions softened in dripping, of thyme, of slow-cooked meat. Your stomach doesn't growl. It simply settles, acknowledging the promise of warmth to come. A serving girl moves past, her woolen skirts whispering against her ankles and the rushes on the floor. The sound is a soft, dry hiss, like the sound of a broom on stone. She places a thick clay cup before you. Your fingers curl around it. The cup is coarse, gritty with the kiln's kiss, but it is warm. The heat soaks into your hands, traveling up from your fingertips into your palms, a deep, radiating comfort. You do not drink yet. You simply hold it, letting the warmth spread. You look towards the kitchen archway, from where the bread smell flows strongest. You see the glow of the bake oven's mouth, a deeper, drier heat than the open fire. You hear no clatter, only the occasional, muffled thud of a loaf being turned on a peel, a comfortable, domestic sound. The voices in the tavern are a low, rolling murmur. A word rises here and there, a price for barley, a comment on the unending rain end, then sinks back into the soft, consonant-rich hum. It is the sound of people unwinding, a sound without urgency. The rain continues its own conversation on the roof, a steady, pattering counterpoint. You finally raise the cup to your lips. The ale is dark, not bitter, but tasting of toasted grain and autumn. It is cool on your tongue but warm in your throat, and the yeasty tang of it echoes the yeasty smell in the air, completing a circle. You take a slow sip, then another, feeling the liquid's journey. Your cloak, hung on a peg nearby, begins to steam softly, releasing the scent of wet wool and the outside damp into the warmer, drier air. It is a good smell. It is the smell of shelter. The heat from the fire reaches your left side now, a palpable pressure, like a warm hand held a few inches from your cheek. You can feel it on the side of your neck, on the back of your left hand resting on the table. The right side of you remains in the cooler, shadowed air of the room, and you exist in this balance, this perfect gradient of warmth. You break off a piece from the small loaf left for you on a platter. The crust resists for a moment with a faint crackle, then gives way. The inside is soft, cloud-soft, and still faintly warm from the oven's residual heart. You place the piece in your mouth. The texture is everything the slight, dusty resistance of the crust, then the yielding, airy crumb that collapses on your tongue. The taste is simple and profound. Grain, water, fire, salt. It is the taste of the hearth, of the home, of the end of a long day. You chew slowly. The murmur continues. The fire crackles, a log settling into itself with a sigh and a shower of tiny, orange sparks that rise and vanish into the dark smoke hollow above. The rain falls, steady and slow, falling and falling. And here, in this yeasty, smoky, warm cocoon of stone and wood, you simply are. Your breath deepens. Your shoulders, which you had not known were raised, settle down. You are anchored here by the weight of the cup in your hand, by the solid bench beneath you, by the sweet, smoky, bread-scented air that you breathe in and breathe out in perfect, peaceful rhythm. You sit on the rough-hewn bench outside the Miller family home, the wood cool and smooth beneath your palms. The afternoon sun warms your back, a gentle contrast to the crisp air that carries the scent of wood smoke from the chimney. You watch as pale ash drifts lazily from the chimney into a clear, cool sky, the flakes dancing and swirling in the soft breeze. The sound of the village around you is a soothing symphony of life, the rhythmic tap of Sophie's kneading dough inside the bakery, the distant clatter of Thomas's tools in the carpentry shop, and the soft chatter of villagers going about their day. The smell of roasted bread wafts through the air, mingling with the earthy scent of damp soil and the faint, sweet aroma of pine sap from the nearby forest. You feel the scratchy wool of your tunic against your skin, the fabric worn soft from years of use. Your feet are planted firmly on the packed earth, the ground cool and solid beneath them. You hear the distant hoot of an owl, the sound echoing through the village as the sun begins to set. The sky turns a deep shade of blue, the first stars twinkling into view. The fire in the hearth crackles softly, the warm embers casting a soft glow through the open door. You feel the heat on your face, the warmth seeping into your bones, chasing away the evening chill. Inside, the scent of old books and parchment fills the air, the smell of ink and paper a comforting presence. You run your fingers along the spine of a well-worn tome, the leather smooth and familiar. The sound of the pages turning is a soft whisper, the words within a secret language known only to you. The rain begins to fall, the drops tapping gently on the thatched roof. The sound is steady and slow, falling and falling, a rhythmic lullaby that soothes your senses. You pull a heavy blanket around your shoulders, the weight comforting and secure. The wool is soft against your skin, the warmth enveloping you like a cocoon. You hear the soft footsteps of Pierre and Eva as they move about the house, their voices a soft murmur in the background. The sound of their laughter is a gentle melody, the joy in their voices a comforting presence. You feel the love in the air, the bond between family members a tangible force that fills the room. The fire crackles softly, the embers glowing a deep, rich red. You feel the heat on your face, the warmth seeping into your bones, chasing away the evening chill. The scent of wood smoke fills the air, the smell a comforting reminder of home and hearth. You sit back on the bench, the wood cool and smooth beneath your palms. The rain continues to fall, the drops tapping gently on the thatched roof. The sound is steady and slow, falling and falling, a rhythmic lullaby that soothes your senses. You close your eyes, the world around you fading into a soft, peaceful blur. You are safe, you are warm, you are home. You sink onto a straw-strewn bench, feeling rough twine and the quiet of the room. The air is thick, a comforting blanket woven from the lingering scent of wood smoke and something else. Something earthy, like damp soil after a spring rain. You can almost taste it on your tongue, a subtle coolness. Your back presses against the rough-hewn wood of the wall, the grain a familiar texture beneath your worn tunic. It's solid, ancient, holding the stories of countless nights just like this one. The rain outside has begun, a soft, persistent drumming on the thatched roof above. It's a sound you know well, a lullaby of the village. Drip, drip, drip. The rhythm is slow, steady, each drop a tiny hammer tapping out a peaceful cadence. You close your eyes, letting the sound wash over you, smoothing away the edges of the day. The cold of the stone floor seeps up through the straw, a gentle reminder of the earth beneath, grounding you. You run a hand over the bench beside you. The straw is dry, surprisingly so, rustling with a soft whisper as you move. It's coarse against your fingers, each dried stalk a tiny, brittle thread. You can feel the unevenness of the wood beneath, worn smooth by years of use, by generations of villagers seeking a moment of respite. It's a simple comfort, this bench, but a profound one. The main room of the tavern is dim, lit only by the faint glow of the embers in the hearth. They pulse with a gentle warmth, casting dancing shadows on the walls. You can feel the heat radiating from them, a soft, dry warmth that settles deep into your bones. The smell of old wood smoke hangs heavy, mingled with the faint, sweetish aroma of ale that has long since been consumed. It's a smell that speaks of community, of shared stories, of lives lived close. You lean your head back, the rough wool of your tunic scratching lightly against your neck. It's a familiar friction, a constant, unobtrusive presence. You can feel the weight of it, the solid warmth it provides. The quiet of the room is a tangible thing, broken only by the rain's gentle patter and the occasional soft sigh of the wind outside. It's a quiet that allows you to hear the blood pulsing in your own ears, a slow, steady beat. You notice a faint scent of pine sap, a sharp, clean note cutting through the richer smells. It must be from the timbers used in the construction, the sturdy beams that hold up the roof. You can almost picture the men who felled those trees, the strong arms that shaped them, the sweat and effort that went into building this place. It's a scent that evokes the deep, quiet forests that surround Stonecliff, a reminder of the natural world that cradles your village. The straw beneath you shifts again as you settle deeper, the rustling a soft, dry song. You breathe in deeply, filling your lungs with the mingled scents of smoke, straw, and the faint, lingering sweetness of something roasted, perhaps bread from Sophie's oven or meat from a long-ago feast. The air is still, undisturbed by any sudden movement. It's a peaceful stillness, a deep calm that sinks into your very being. You trace the rough grain of the wooden bench with your fingertips. Each groove and knot tells a story, a silent testament to the passage of time. The wood is cool to the touch, retaining the chill of the night air, but not unpleasantly so. It's a solid, dependable coolness, like the stones of the church walls. The rain continues its steady rhythm, a comforting, unwavering sound. It's a sound that washes away the dust and the worries of the day, leaving behind a sense of quietude. You can feel the gentle vibration of the roof beneath the falling drops, a subtle tremor that grounds you further. You shift your weight, the straw crinkling softly beneath you. The rough twine of the bench's construction presses lightly against your thighs, a constant, unyielding presence. It's not uncomfortable, merely there, a part of the simple, honest construction of this place. You focus on the warmth of the embers, a small, contained fire that offers a gentle, pulsing heat. It's a warmth that doesn't demand attention, but simply exists, a quiet guardian against the night's chill. You can feel its presence on your face, a subtle caress. The quiet of the room wraps around you, a soft cloak. It's a quiet that allows you to hear the soft settling of the timbers, the minute creaks and groans of the old building as it breathes with the night. These are not sounds of alarm, but sounds of life, of a structure that has stood for generations, a silent witness to the ebb and flow of village life. You close your eyes again, the image of the pulsing embers imprinted on your mind's eye. The scent of wood smoke, sharp and familiar, fills your nostrils. The sound of the rain, a constant, soothing murmur, is the only other sound. You feel the rough straw beneath you, the solid wood of the bench, the cool stone floor. All is peaceful. All is safe. You are here, in this quiet room, and there is nothing more to do but simply be. The rain falls, steady and slow, falling and falling. The embers glow, soft and warm, glowing and glowing. The straw rustles, a dry whisper, rustling and rustling. You are here. You are here. You trace the grain of a well-worn table, where mugs leave foggy rings. Your finger, rough and calloused from the plane and the saw, follows a deep, dark line in the oak. It travels a path worn smooth by decades of forearms, of spilled ale, of absent circles drawn in condensation. The wood is cool under your fingertip. It is solid. It is real. This is your table, in the corner where the wall meets the hearth. The wood beneath your palm is not smooth like a finished piece. It is textured with 1,000 tiny scratches, a map of forgotten conversations. You feel the subtle ridge of a deep nick, and the gentle valley of a stain that has soaked deep into the fibers. Your thumb rubs a slow, small circle over one of the ghostly rings, feeling the almost imperceptible raise where the ale and the wet bottom of a tankard have slightly swelled the grain. Around and around your thumb goes. The heat from the great fireplace reaches you in a soft, pressing wave. It touches the side of your face, your neck, your right shoulder. It is a dry, deep warmth that seeps through your woolen tunic. You can feel the cool of the stone wall at your back, a steady contrast, and the heat on your front, and the solid table beneath your hands. You are held between these sensations, anchored. The smell is a blanket around you. It is the sweet, resinous scent of pine logs burning down to red embers. It is the damp, earthy smell of the packed clay floor, recently swept but still holding the memory of rain and mud. It is the faint, yeasty ghost of yesterday's ale, and the ever-present smell of wood smoke that has soaked into the thatch above, into your own clothes, into your skin. You breathe in, slow. You breathe out. The air is heavy and still and safe. A log in the fire settles with a soft crunch, a shower of tiny sparks swirling up the chimney like orange fireflies. The sound is deep and comforting. It is a punctuation mark in the quiet. Then the steady rhythm returns, the soft, relentless hiss and pop of sap in the burning wood. Hiss-pop. Hiss-pop. It is a heartbeat. Outside, the rain falls. It is not a storm but a patient, soaking rain. You hear it on the thick thatch of the tavern roof, a sound like a constant, gentle sigh. A steady shh. You hear the drip from the eaves onto the stone step outside the door, a slower metronome. Plink. 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 The rain falls, and the fire crackles, and your finger rests on the smooth path in the oak. The weight of your own body is a comfort. You feel the solid bench beneath you, carved and worn by generations of villagers. You feel the slight ache in your shoulders from a day of lifting beams, a familiar and honest tiredness. You feel the heavy, scratchy wool of your hose against your legs, and the way your leather boots encase your feet, warm and close. You are here, in your body, in this chair at this table. You look at the mug before you. The clay is thick and humble. Your hand wraps around its curve, and the heat from the spiced wine within radiates into your palm. It is almost too hot to hold, but you keep your hand there, letting the warmth seep into your bones. You bring it to your face. The steam rises, carrying the scent of cloves and honey and dark, simmered wine. It fills your nose. You take a small sip. The warmth travels down your throat, a slow, spreading glow that settles in your chest, mirroring the glow from the hearth. Your eyes grow heavy watching the fire. The embers pulse, a deep orange that breathes. They glow brighter, then softer, then brighter again with a faint draft. A single flame, blue at its root, licks lazily at a new edge of charred log. It dances without sound, a silent, weaving ribbon of light. You watch it until your vision softens, until the flame becomes a blur of gold against the dark. The sounds begin to layer, to braid together. The shh of the rain. The hiss-pop of the fire. The distant, deep plink of the eave drip. They are not separate. They are one sound, one endless, soothing song of the night. Your breathing slows to match it. In. Shh. Out. Hiss-pop. In. Plink. Out. You think of nothing. Or you think of everything, but softly, like shadows on the wall. The smell of Sophie's baking bread, warm and golden. The sound of Eva's laughter, bright as a bell. The sight of Pierre concentrating, his small brow furrowed as he tries to whittle a peg. They are not worries. They are just there, like the heat on your face, like the ring on the table. They are part of the piece. Your hand, which has been tracing the grain, now rests still, palm flat on the cool oak. The heat from the fire has warmed the back of that hand. You are a bridge between cool and warm, between the solid wood and the soft air, between the sound of the rain and the silence within you. The foggy rings on the table blur as your eyes close. They are just soft halos in the dark wood. The mug is empty, a comforting weight. The fire is burning low, a bed of pulsing coals that throw a gentle, rosy light onto the stones of the hearth. The rain continues to fall, steady and slow, falling and falling. And you are here, Thomas, in the corner, at your table, held by the wood, the stone, the warmth, the sound. There is no need to move. There is no need to think. There is only the grain under your hand, and the slow, deep breath you take, and the peaceful dark behind your eyelids, and the filthy, beautiful, utterly truthful comfort of this safe, warm, silent tavern night. In the heart of Stonecliff, you sit, Thomas the carpenter, in the warm embrace of the Miller family's favorite tavern. The fire crackles and pops, its glow dancing on the cold stones of the hearth. You feel the scratchy wool of your tunic, rough against your skin, as you lean back into the heavy wooden chair. The smell of wood smoke fills your lungs, mingling with the aroma of roasted bread and hearty stew that wafts from the kitchen. The rain falls, steady and slow, falling and falling. You hear it tapping gently on the thatched roof, a rhythmic lullaby that soothes your tired bones. The sound of distant owls echoes through the night, their calls blending with the crackling of the logs in the fireplace. You take a sip of your ale, the cool liquid sliding down your throat, its bitter taste a comforting contrast to the rich, warm stew you savor with each spoonful. The tavern is filled with the soft hum of conversation, the murmur of voices rising and falling like the ebb and flow of a gentle stream. You feel the warmth of the fire on your face, the heat seeping into your skin, relaxing your muscles. The cold stone floor beneath your feet is a stark contrast, grounding you, keeping you present in this moment of peace. You take another spoonful of stew, the hearty flavors exploding on your tongue. The meat is tender, the vegetables soft, the broth rich and savory. You chew slowly, savoring each bite, the warmth spreading through your body. The steam rises from the bowl, a gentle lullaby that mingles with the rain and the crackling fire. The scent of old books and damp earth wafts from the corner of the tavern, where a few patrons are engrossed in their reading. The smell of pine, sap from the wooden beams above mixes with the wood smoke, creating a comforting, familiar aroma. You breathe deeply, letting the scents fill your senses, calming your mind. You take another sip of your ale, the cool liquid a refreshing contrast to the warm stew. The taste is bitter, yet smooth, a comforting presence in your mouth. You feel the weight of the tankard in your hand, the cool metal a grounding presence. The rain continues to fall, steady and slow, falling and falling. You listen to the rhythmic tapping on the roof, the sound a soothing melody that lulls you into a state of relaxation. The fire crackles and pops, the sound a comforting rhythm that blends with the rain and the murmur of voices. You feel the warmth of the fire on your face, the heat seeping into your skin, relaxing your muscles. The cold stone floor beneath your feet is a stark contrast, grounding you, keeping you present in this moment of peace. You take another spoonful of stew, the hearty flavors a comforting presence in your mouth. The tavern is filled with the soft hum of conversation, the murmur of voices rising and falling like the ebb and flow of a gentle stream. You feel the weight of the heavy wooden chair beneath you, the scratchy wool of your tunic against your skin. You breathe deeply, letting the scents of wood smoke, roasted bread, and hearty stew fill your senses. The rain falls, steady and slow, falling and falling. You listen to the rhythmic tapping on the roof, the sound a soothing melody that lulls you into a state of relaxation. The fire crackles and pops, the sound a comforting rhythm that blends with the rain and the murmur of voices. You take another sip of your ale, the cool liquid a refreshing contrast to the warm stew. The taste is bitter, yet smooth, a comforting presence in your mouth. You feel the weight of the tankard in your hand, the cool metal a grounding presence. The scent of pine, sap from the wooden beams above mixes with the wood smoke, creating a comforting, familiar aroma. You breathe deeply, letting the scents fill your senses, calming your mind. The sound of distant owls echoes through the night, their calls blending with the crackling of the logs in the fireplace. You feel the warmth of the fire on your face, the heat seeping into your skin, relaxing your muscles. The cold stone floor beneath your feet is a stark contrast, grounding you, keeping you present in this moment of peace. You take another spoonful of stew, the hearty flavors a comforting presence in your mouth. The tavern is filled with the soft hum of conversation, the murmur of voices rising and falling like the ebb and flow of a gentle stream. You feel the weight of the heavy wooden chair beneath you, the scratchy wool of your tunic against your skin. You breathe deeply, letting the scents of wood smoke, roasted bread, and hearty stew fill your senses. The rain falls, steady and slow, falling and falling. You listen to the rhythmic tapping on the roof, the sound a soothing melody that lulls you into a state of relaxation. The fire crackles and pops, the sound a comforting rhythm that blends with the rain and the murmur of voices. You take another sip of your ale, the cool liquid a refreshing contrast to the warm stew. The taste is bitter, yet smooth, a comforting presence in your mouth. You feel the weight of the tankard in your hand, the cool metal a grounding presence. The scent of pine, sap from the wooden beams above mixes with the wood smoke, creating a comforting, familiar aroma. You breathe deeply, letting the scents fill your senses, calming your mind. The sound of distant owls echoes through the night, their calls blending with the crackling of the logs in the fireplace. In this moment, you are at peace. The world outside may be cold and wet, but here, in the warmth of the tavern, you are safe. The rain falls, steady and slow, falling and falling. The fire crackles and pops. The voices murmur. And you, Thomas the carpenter, are content. You feel rain begin, each patter on the thatch counting out a slow rhythm. It's a gentle drumming, a lullaby for the village of Stonecliff. You pull the rough wool blanket tighter around your shoulders, the scratchy fibers a familiar comfort against your skin. The air inside your small cottage is thick with the comforting scent of wood smoke from the dying embers in the hearth. Each tiny spark flares, a fleeting orange eye in the dim light, before sinking back into a bed of warm ash. You can hear the rain, a steady descending cascade. It's a sound that washes over the world outside, cleansing the dust from the leaves of the oak tree just beyond your window, softening the sharp edges of the day. You imagine it slicking the cobblestones of the village path, turning the familiar gray to a deep, polished obsidian. The sound is constant, a soft hiss that blends with the occasional sigh of the wind through the eaves. Your fingers trace the worn grain of the wooden table before you. It's solid, dependable, just like the tools you shape with your own hands. You can feel the tiny imperfections, the places where your chisel slipped a fraction too much, or where a knot in the wood resisted your efforts. These are the marks of your work, the silent stories etched into the very substance of your life. The air carries another scent, fainter but persistent, the lingering aroma of roasted bread from Sophie's bakery. Even now, hours after the ovens have cooled, a ghost of that warmth and yeasty sweetness clings to the air. You can almost taste it, a phantom sweetness on your tongue. It's a promise of the morning, of the golden crusts that will soon emerge, filling the village with a different kind of warmth. You shift your weight on the stool. The wood is cool beneath your trousers, the stone floor even colder. You are acutely aware of the weight of the world, not in a burdensome way, but in a solid, grounding sense. The weight of the blanket, the weight of your own limbs, the weight of the quiet night settling around you. The rain falls, steady and slow, falling and falling. It's a rhythm that seeps into your bones, a gentle insistence that encourages stillness. You close your eyes, and the darkness behind your lids is a velvety curtain. You can still hear the rain, each drop a tiny percussionist on the thatch. Patter, patter, patter. It's a sound that has echoed through generations in this village, a constant companion to the lives lived within these sturdy walls. You can smell the damp earth outside, a rich, loamy scent carried on the cool air that occasionally seeps through the cracks in the window frame. It's the smell of life, of roots digging deep, of seeds waiting to sprout. It's a smell that speaks of continuity, of the earth's enduring promise. Your hands rest on your lap, the skin roughened by years of labor. You can feel the calluses, the tiny nicks and scars that tell tales of stubborn wood and sharp tools. They are not signs of pain, but of purpose. They are the testament to your skill, to the craft that provides for your family, for Sophie, for Pierre, for Eva. The embers in the hearth glow, a pulsing heart in the quiet room. You can feel the faint warmth radiating from them, a gentle caress on your face. It's a warmth that chases away the chill that the rain might otherwise bring. It's a contained warmth, a safe warmth, like the warmth of a shared secret. You hear a distant owl, a soft, mournful hoot that drifts through the night. It's a sound that belongs to the darkness, to the wilder edges of the world beyond the village. But here, within the cottage, it feels distant, a part of the larger symphony of the night, not an intrusion. The rain continues its steady descent. Fall, fall, fall. Each drop a tiny messenger, whispering secrets to the earth. You can imagine the water seeping into the thatch, darkening the straw, adding its own weight to the roof. But the thatch is strong, built by hands that knew their craft, just as you know yours. It will hold. It will keep you dry. You can feel the slight vibration of the floor as a larger drop of rain hits a particular spot on the roof. It's a subtle tremor, a reminder of the world outside, but it only serves to emphasize the stillness and security within. You are sheltered. You are safe. The scent of pine sap, from the wood piled near the hearth, mingles with the smoke and the damp earth. It's a sharp, clean scent, a counterpoint to the heavier aromas. It speaks of the forests that surround Stonecliff, of the raw materials that you transform with your skill. You breathe in deeply, filling your lungs with the mingled scents of your home. Wood smoke, bread, damp earth, pine. These are the aromas of your life, the olfactory tapestry of Stonecliff. They are familiar, comforting, and deeply ingrained in your being. The rain patters on. Patter, patter, patter. A relentless, soothing cadence. You feel the weight of the blanket, the cool wood beneath your hands, the faint warmth of the embers. All of it grounding you, anchoring you in this moment of quiet peace. The night is deep, the village sleeps and the rain falls, a gentle, rhythmic blessing. You curl closer to the hearth as embers pulse orange and slow. The warmth is a thick, woolen blanket all its own, pressing against your front while the cool, still air of the room rests against your back. You are Thomas. The weight of the day, the heft of oak beams, the grip of saw handles, the scent of fresh pine shaving settles from your muscles into the stones beneath you. You are anchored here, on this woven rush mat, your spine against the leg of the heavy oak settle. The blanket over your shoulders is coarse-woven wool, scratchy and familiar. With each slight shift, it whispers against your linen tunic. You pull it tighter, and the pressure is a deep, comforting hug. Your fingers, calloused and dry from wood and rope, trace the thick weave. You feel each bump, each sturdy knot of yarn. The fire breathes. It is not a roaring thing, but a living mound of deep red and ashen gray. An ember collapses in on itself with a soft, sighing hiss. A tiny spark flees upward, a brief orange star against the sooty black of the chimney throat, and then it is gone. The light in the room is not constant. It swells and fades, in time with the hearth's slow heart. The shadows on the plastered wall behind the hearth stretch long, then shrink, then stretch again. They dance, but slowly, as if moving through deep water. Outside, the rain falls. It is the endless, patient rain of a late autumn night. It speaks on the thatch above you, a sound like a gentle, constant pattering. Pit-pat, pit-pat, pit-pat. It finds the grooves in the wooden shutter over the window, trickling down in a thin, steady stream. The sound is a veil between this room and the world. It muffles everything else. There is only this room, this warmth, this sound. You draw a long, slow breath. The air is layered with smells, each one a known and quiet comfort. The dominant note is wood smoke, of course. The crisp, clean scent of applewood from the last log you placed, now sweet and fading. Beneath that is the deeper, older smell of the stone hearth itself, of centuries of heat and ash, a mineral scent like wet rock. From your clothes, from your very skin, comes the smell of the workshop. The sappy, resinous perfume of pine, the dry dust of oak, the faint, metallic hint of tools well-oiled. And from the cooling bread oven at the room's other end, where Sophie baked this afternoon, comes the ghost of roasted bread. It is not the hungry smell of fresh bread, but the deeper, nuttier scent of the oven's retained heat, of toasted flour and crust. It hangs in the air like a memory of the day's goodness. You listen past the rain. You hear the soft, dry rustle of the rushes beneath you. You hear the faint, almost imperceptible sigh of your sleeping daughter, Eva, from the loft above. It is a whisper of breath, in and out, steady as a tiny bellows. Further away, the deeper, slower rhythm of Pierre's sleep. And beside you in the bed nook, Sophie's presence is a warmth you feel more than hear. The soft, linen sound of her turning under heavy covers. A log, nearly consumed, shifts. A cascade of golden sparks spirals up, and for a moment, the whole room is painted in brilliant, flickering amber. You see the grain of the oak table, the curve of a clay cup, the bunched wool of your own socks where they've dried by the hearth. Then the light dims, settling back into its deep, pulsing orange. The cold of the flagstones seeps up, but only just. It is a grounding coolness, through the rush mat, through the seat of your trousers. It balances the heat on your face. Your cheeks are hot, nearly glowing, while your back is cool. You are perfectly suspended between the two. You watch the embers breathe. Their centers are like miniature suns, buried in soft, gray ash. They pulse, as if resting between heartbeats. You match your breath to their rhythm. In and out. The orange brightens and fades. The rain continues its endless chant. It is not a storm. There is no wind to drive it. It is simply the sky, emptying itself onto the earth, drop by patient drop. The sound is a soft roar, a white noise that fills your skull and washes thought away. You are here. You are safe. The roof is thick. The walls are stone. The scratch of the wool against your neck is a tiny, focused sensation. You sink into it. The weight of your own body feels immense, a pleasant heaviness melting into the floor. The day's shapes, the lines of a dovetail joint, the curve of a chair leg drift through your mind like smoke, formless and unimportant. They are replaced by the simple, solid shapes of this room. The black square of the hearth, the orange circle of the ember bed, the long rectangle of the dying firelight on the floor. You are Thomas. You are the carpenter. Your hands are still. Your mind is quiet. The only work left is to feel the warmth, to hear the rain, to watch the light fade and pulse, fade and pulse. The embers glow, orange and slow. The rain falls, steady and slow. Your eyes grow heavy, slow. The darkness beyond the firelight is not empty. It is full of the soft sounds of your sleeping family, and the profound, filthy, beautiful truth of this shelter, this warmth, this peace. You curl closer to the hearth, and the night holds you. As you step into the tavern, the warmth wraps around you like a heavy blanket, a stark contrast to the cold, damp night outside. The rain falls, steady and slow, tapping gently on the thatched roof, a rhythmic lullaby accompanying the soft hum of the tavern. You hear the rain and a lone owl, its call echoing in the distance, a gentle reminder of the world beyond these cozy walls. The scent of wood smoke fills your nostrils, mingling with the aroma of roasted bread and the faint, comforting smell of old books and damp earth. The fire crackles in the hearth, the embers glowing like tiny, dancing stars, casting flickering shadows on the cold stone walls. You feel the rough, scratchy wool of your cloak against your skin, a familiar sensation, a testament to the craftsmanship of the village weavers. You sit at a worn wooden table, the surface smooth from years of use, polished by the hands of countless villagers seeking refuge from the elements. The table is sturdy, solid, a testament to your own craftsmanship, to the countless hours you've spent shaping wood, carving it into something useful, something enduring. The tavern breathes with a soft, steady sound, a symphony of quiet conversations, the occasional laughter, the clinking of tankards, and the soft rustle of straw on the floor. The sound of the rain continues, a constant, soothing rhythm, a reminder of the world outside. Yet it feels distant, muffled, as if wrapped in a cocoon of warmth and safety. You feel the cold stone floor beneath your feet, a stark contrast to the warm tabletop. The stones are ancient, worn smooth by time and countless footsteps, a silent witness to the village's history. You can feel the history in the stones, the stories they could tell, the laughter and tears they've seen. The fire crackles again, the sound like a soft whisper, a lullaby sung by the flames. The heat reaches out to you, a gentle caress, a promise of warmth and comfort. You can feel the heat on your face, see the dance of the flames reflected in your eyes. The scent of pine sap wafts through the air, a fresh, clean aroma that cuts through the wood smoke and the damp earth. It's the scent of the forest, of the trees that stand tall and proud outside the village, a reminder of the world beyond these walls. You hear the soft rustle of straw as someone moves nearby, the sound like a soft sigh, a gentle whisper. The straw is fresh, clean, a testament to the hard work of the village farmers. You can feel the straw beneath your fingers, the softness, the roughness, the tiny prickles that tickle your skin. The rain continues to fall, the sound a steady drumbeat, a rhythmic lullaby that soothes your soul. The owl calls again, its voice a soft, mournful cry that echoes in the night. The sound is distant, yet it feels close, a gentle reminder of the world outside, of the life that thrives beyond these walls. You feel the warmth of the tavern, the comfort, the safety. The cold night outside seems far away, a distant memory, a world away from the cozy warmth of the tavern. The rain falls, the fire crackles, the owl calls, and you sit, wrapped in the warmth of the tavern, the scent of wood smoke and pine sap filling your nostrils, the sound of the rain and the fire a soft, soothing lullaby. The night wears on, the rain continues to fall, the fire continues to crackle, and you sit, wrapped in the warmth of the tavern, the scent of wood smoke and pine sap filling your nostrils, the sound of the rain and the fire a soft, soothing lullaby. The world outside may be cold and dark, but here, in the tavern, you are warm, you are safe, you are home. The rhythm of the rain, the fire, the owl's call, it all wraps around you, a cocoon of sound and warmth and comfort. The night is long, but you are not afraid, for you are here in the tavern, wrapped in the warmth of the fire, the scent of wood smoke and pine sap, the sound of the rain and the fire a soft, soothing lullaby. The night wears on, the rain falls, the fire crackles, and you sit, wrapped in the warmth of the tavern, the scent of wood smoke and pine sap filling your nostrils, the sound of the rain and the fire a soft, soothing lullaby. The world outside may be cold and dark, but here, in the tavern, you are warm, you are safe, you are home. The rhythm of the rain, the fire, the owl's call, it all wraps around you, a cocoon of sound and warmth and comfort. The night is long, but you are not afraid, for you are here in the tavern, wrapped in the warmth of the fire, the scent of wood smoke and pine sap, the sound of the rain and the fire a soft, soothing lullaby. The night wears on, the rain falls, the fire crackles, and you sit, wrapped in the warmth of the tavern, the scent of wood smoke and pine sap filling your nostrils, the sound of the rain and the fire a soft, soothing lullaby. The world outside may be cold and dark, but here, in the tavern, you are warm, you are safe, you are home. The rhythm of the rain, the fire, the owl's call, it all wraps around you, a cocoon of sound and warmth and comfort. The night is long, but you are not afraid, for you are here in the tavern, wrapped in the warmth of the fire, the scent of wood smoke and pine sap, the sound of the rain and the fire a soft, soothing lullaby. You let the night settle, the warm, smoky hush folding around you as sleep comes. The rough wool of your tunic scratches softly against your skin, a familiar, comforting friction. You shift, the straw-filled mattress rustling beneath you, a dry, whispering sound in the quiet dark. Outside, the rain falls. Steady and slow. Falling and falling. You hear it drumming a soft, persistent rhythm on the thatched roof of your small cottage. It's a sound that has always lulled you, a watery lullaby that promises rest. You pull the heavy wool blanket closer, its weight a solid, reassuring presence against your chest. The air in the room is thick with the scent of wood smoke, a lingering perfume from the hearth where the last embers now glow, pulsing with a gentle, orange light. You can almost feel the cool, damp air seeping in from the cracks around the window frames, but the warmth radiating from the dying fire keeps it at bay. It's a delicate balance, this warmth against the chill, and you are perfectly content within its embrace. The stones of the cottage walls, you know, are cold to the touch, a deep, ancient cold that has settled into them over centuries. But tonight, they feel like silent guardians, holding the warmth within. Your breathing is slow and deep, each inhale filling your lungs with the comforting aroma of smoke and the faint, sweet scent of pine sap from the logs that still smolder. You can almost taste the lingering dust of the day, the fine particles that settle on everything in Stonecliff, a constant reminder of the earth beneath your feet. You think of the day, not with any urgency, but with a gentle, drifting awareness. You remember the feel of the smooth, worn wood of your workbench, the satisfying weight of your hammer in your hand. The scent of freshly planed pine, sharp and clean, still seems to cling to your fingers. You imagine Sophie, her hands dusted with flour, the warm, yeasty smell of her baking bread rising in the air. You can almost hear the soft thud of dough being kneaded, a rhythmic, comforting sound. Pierre and Eva, their small bodies tired from play, their laughter echoing in your memory. You picture their faces, soft in the dim light of the evening, their sleep peaceful. You can almost feel the warmth of their small hands, the soft skin of their cheeks as you kissed them goodnight. The rain continues its gentle drumming, a constant, hypnotic beat. You focus on the sound, letting it wash over you, carrying away any stray thoughts. The distant hoot of an owl, a mournful, lonely sound, drifts in on the damp air, but it only serves to emphasize the quiet safety of your home. It's a sound from the wild, from the darkness beyond the village, and it feels a world away from the hushed stillness that surrounds you. You feel the rough texture of the linen sheet beneath your head, the slight give of the straw stuffing. Each sensation is distinct, yet together they weave a tapestry of absolute peace. The smoky air, the scratch of wool, the drumming rain, the fading embers, they are all part of the same quiet symphony, a lullaby composed just for you. You are a part of Stonecliff, just as the stones are a part of the earth, just as the rain is a part of the sky. There is no struggle, no striving, only the gentle rhythm of existence. You feel the warmth of the embers on your face, a subtle, comforting heat. You can almost smell the faint, sweet aroma of roasted nuts, a scent that sometimes drifts from the tavern on a particularly still night. But tonight, it is only the familiar, comforting smell of your own hearth. The world outside is dark and vast, but here, within these walls, you are held safe. The rain falls, steady and slow, falling and falling. It washes the world clean, and as it does, it washes away the day, leaving only the present moment, a moment of perfect, unblemished peace. You feel your eyelids grow heavy, the world of sensation beginning to blur at the edges. The smoky hush deepens, a comforting blanket of quiet. You are here, in this moment, safe and warm, and sleep is a gentle tide pulling you under. The rain falls. The embers glow. You drift,